Hello, welcome back to Yummy with Mommy. Today we're going to be doing a very special recipe. It's especially famous in Nairobi, Kenya, another Kenyan recipe, and this one is called Maru Bhajia. It's sort of a street food, a fried potato street food in Nairobi, and we'll be showing you how to make it today. So first things first, your potatoes, you want to make sure they are cut to this sort of thickness. Let me see if I can show that in the camera. So you want to make sure it's not too thin. So they want to have some sort of thickness to it, not too thin, because we're going to be mixing this up in a batter with some green chilies and then frying. So make sure it's not too thin. There's different ways you can do this. You can use a mandolin slicer, but again, not too thin. So if you are setting your mandolin slicer, make sure you have it such that it's not as thin. Another way you can do this is just by knife, and that's what we've done in this case. We didn't use a mandolin slicer, but by all means you can use one if you have one. The ingredients for this particular recipe, there's 4 main things you need. One of the most important ingredients is this flour paste sort of thing, and this is actually called chana flour, as you can see here, and we got this from our Indian local grocery store. You can find the same in yours, wherever you live. You can go look for this. It's called chana flour. So that's the first thing you're going to need. Doesn't matter what brand, anything should work fine. Next thing is some sliced up coriander leaves, just like this. You don't need to go really small. These sorts of pieces will work fine enough. So slice some up of those. Some blended green chilies. If you're not sure how to make this, get yourself some green chilies, throw it in a blender with some water in there, and you're basically good to go. And that's a mixture of this. And finally, some salt. So let's show you how to get it all done. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is add 2 full tablespoons of this chana flour I was just talking about to your mix, just like that. We're going to add a second one here, and you're going to also add 2 tablespoons of coriander leaves. That should be fine. Follow that up with a single teaspoon of green chilies, and last but not least, 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, want to mix all that up with your hands. Make sure everything is nicely mixed. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Obviously being careful of squishing the potatoes, because that's not the intention with this recipe. Do that for about a couple minutes, and next step, we are going to be putting this in the deep fry. Okay, once you have your oil sitting for a bit on the stove and it's hot, you can start throwing in each potato, the mix you have. And we're going to let this fry for a bit here. We'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. But basically what you're looking for is a crispy brown consistency on these potatoes. So we'll show you how that looks in a bit here. Shouldn't take you more than 3 to 4 minutes to fry these up. So we're just about to take out these bhajias, as you can see, and you can see the color of them and how they look. So this is what you want to be looking for when you're frying your bhajias. Look for that golden crispy look. And once you get that, then you can take these out. Next, I'll be showing you how to make, there's a special Bhajia chutney which is famous in Nairobi as well, and the two pair really well, this Bhajia along with that chutney. So we'll show you how to make that here next. So to make this chutney, it's pretty simple actually. You need only a couple ingredients. So one of the things you need is a big tomato. In this case, we've already sliced one up in here to a few different pieces. You'll need half a carrot, which you also see in there, half a lemon, which we will squeeze as we blend, 2 tablespoons of coriander, which you would have had left from before, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of green chilies. So let's throw that all into the blender now and see how it goes. Okay, so we'll add all of those in slowly into the blender just like that. Add in our 2 tablespoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of green chilies. You can add more or less green chilies. If you like it spicy, then add more. If you don't, then add less. And finally, we're going to squeeze in half the lemon into the mix there as well. And now we're basically ready to blend, so let's blend this up. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's finally ready. It didn't take too long to make, and it's absolutely delicious. So you guys have seen how simple this recipe is. It's sold in lots of restaurants in Nairobi, in fact in whole of Kenya. So now you know how to make it by yourself. Let me know if you have tried these bhajias before in Nairobi. Also let me know what your thoughts are of the recipe, and definitely get back to me, leave a comment and let me know how this recipe turns out for you if you've tried it. Also, if you're new to the channel, then subscribe and comment below what you'd like for us to do next here on this channel. We'll see you guys next week.